Hello and welcome to episode 16 of A Bit of Bully. And my name's Phil, and with me today I've got Darren. How are you today, Darren?
Yeah, I'm good. Not bad at all, to be fair. Very hot and sticky. I don't know how you're coping. Are you coping okay?
I've had to switch them off for this because of the noise, but I've got two fans on me. I've got a big one and a little one next to me as well. It's a bit hot. I like the heat, but this is just like, I shouldn't complain. It's better than rain. No, but yeah, it has gone past that sort of comfortable level now, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So for people that are watching from abroad who don't know, Europe and Britain are in the middle of a massive heat wave. So when people from, I don't know, Canada are listening to us, they'll be like, what's he talking about? It's cold.
yeah.
In Quebec or whatever. Anyway, let's talk darts. That's what this is for. It's a darts podcast, so let's not talk about the weather. We've got two parts to the show today. For the first bit, it's myself and you, Darren, and we're going to talk about the Slovak Darts Masters in Bratislava last week. Really good tournament. We'll talk about that, and we'll halfway through the show we'll introduce Keith Guther, who is our American expert, and he's coming on because, of course, this weekend it is the US Masters, and there's already been a shock in the first round, and not just a shock, we've got a horror movie star in it as well. But wait till halfway through and you'll see it. Right, so I didn't go right back to the first round for the results. I've gone from round 3, so let's run through these and see what pops out at you, Darren.
Yeah.
Rob Cross 6, Kevin Dotes 5. So Rob Cross in good form at the moment. He
is, yeah.
He won last week, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Nathan Aspinall 6, Ryan Searle 0.
Wow.
It's not often Ryan Searle doesn't get any points.
Yeah.
Tom Sykes 6, Cameron Menzies 4. Good result for Tom Sykes, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Jermaine Watamina 6, Danny Noppert 5. So close one, that one. Very close. I do like watching Jermaine Watamina. What do you think of his style of play?
Yeah, I mean, I like the way he plays and stuff, but it just comes across a bit erratic sometimes. Like he's a bit all over the shop, and you don't know what you're getting off him.
Darren, it's erratic.
Erratic, yeah. Apologies.
This is what YouTube's about. You go sometimes. Well, I'm not editing it out. Just leaving that in. That's funny. Andrew Goulding 6, Michael Van Gerwen 4. So Andrew Goulding, solid player. Michael Van Gerwen, again, not doing so well. He's up and down more than a yo-yo at the moment, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, he seems to perform better on the TVs, doesn't he?
He does. Ross Smith 6, Christo 4. Ross Smith's had a bit of form recently. Mike 6, Ryan Joyce 5. And last but not least, Wessel Nijman 6, Stephen Bunting 1. Big win that for Wessel Nijman. It's not, Bunting is not an easy player to get past, is he?
No, definitely not. Like you say there, yeah. Now, obviously, that's a big scalp for Nijman, but at the same time, it's players like that he knows he needs to beat, isn't it? Because they're higher than him in the ranking. So
he does. He's doing it quite well. Quarterfinals: Rob Cross 6, Nathan Aspinall 2. So Nathan Aspinall going out to an informed Rob Cross. And Rob Cross is not just, and he got 6-5 against Kevin Dotes, but the results in the last couple of weeks for Rob Cross have been excellent, and he's continuing to perform. Tom Sykes carried on his form. He beat Jermaine Watamina 6-2. Not many people do that to Jermaine.
No.
Ross Smith 6, Andrew Goulding 4. and Wessel Nijman 6, Mike De Decker 3. Any results stand out there for you?
I mean, the Aspinall ones, I know, like we say, Rob Cross has been in good form, but the Aspinall one for me, obviously, with him winning 6-0 in the last round, to then go and lose 6-2 is a bit of a surprise, really. The other games, not really. I mean, Tom Sykes, yeah, again. I mean, we know Tom's a good player. He's just took his chance, hasn't he? Because obviously he's been given the opportunity in this tournament and he's taken it. Like you say, Watamina, sometimes, you know, he's unstoppable. There's other times where he seems like he's not really in the game, in the room. The other games, not really a surprise. We know Nyman's on solid form. We know Ross Smith's on good form. So not really them other ones.
Well, the semi-finals, Rob Cross continued his stunning form. So he of course, he beat Nathan Aspinall 6-2 in the quarterfinals. He then went on to semi-finals and beat Tom Sykes 7-2. Not a bad result at all. And Wessel Nijman beat Ross Smith 6. You can see where we're going here, can't you? Again. And then the final, Wessel Nijman versus Rob Cross. 2 informed players. And I don't think, if you'd said to me last week, these two are in the final, who's going to win? I don't think I could have picked one.
No.
Really don't. What would you have said before the game? Would you be the same, or do you think one of them's got an edge?
I mean, I would have gone more towards Nijman because the amount of tournaments he's won this year. But
8.
Like you say, yeah, I wouldn't have put it down as the result that it was like.
No, it was Wessel Nijman 8, Rob Cross 3. Massive win, 5-leg difference. Wessel Nijman going on to win his 8th tournament, 8 Euro Tour tournaments in it, or 8 tournaments. He's only the 4th player to do that in a single season.
Wow.
So, you know, we're not even talking. We're talking Phil Taylor and Michael Van Gogh and people like that. You know, we're not. Luke Littler's not even at that stage yet. So Wessel Nijman has come into this season and he is throwing. I watched the highlights of these games, a couple of these games, and he just throws with such confidence.
Yeah.
He's I don't think anybody could beat him at the moment if he's on his game.
Yeah, definitely. Like I seen the Ross Smith, a little bit of the highlights of that game, and the finish that he pulled out the last couple of legs to go on and win it. It was just insane. He just looked, and he had a bit of fire in his belly in that tournament. We've had that discussion before. Like, he wins a lot of tournaments. There's no reaction there with him. It's just, this is just another one. Yeah. Whereas this one, when he won it, there was a lot. You know, he was running around the stage a little bit, and he was celebrating. You know, whether the family and that were there with him this time, or I'm not sure, but it was nice to see him celebrate the way he did.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's 14th in the world now. It seems, you know, it gets that stage when you get to near the top of the rankings. Actually, it's really hard then to start moving up. So you can move up quite quickly from maybe 200 to 30, maybe, in the world. When you get in the top 30, it gets a little bit more difficult, doesn't it, to sustain it and catch people.
That's it, yeah.
He is catching them. Future world number 1? Was that just ridiculous?
You can't rule it out. You can't rule it out.
He's got to be in consideration for the Premier League next year if he carries on.
Definitely. And if he is, then, like you say, again, it's more ranking, like you say, more money for the rankings than, you know, if he goes on to win it. Obviously, you don't get ranking money for each week, do you? But If he goes on
No,
to win the whole thing, you know, it's free money again for him, isn't it? It's going to push him up the rankings even more.
it's massive. Yeah, it's massive. I mean, he is a superstar at the moment, and probably the biggest story in darts. With all the noise surrounding people like Luke Littler and Luke Humphreys, it's interesting to see some of the focus being taken off them and onto somebody else. For those that don't know, he's from Holland, Netherlands, and yeah, he's just on fire this season. I want to talk. I know we talked about this before, Darren, but I want to talk about Luke Littler's comments this week about the booing and whistling, and I want to talk about it from a different perspective to what Luke Littler's looking at. Now, I can understand that it's annoying when people are whistling and booing. I can understand it even puts you off.
Yeah.
But in other sports, football especially, the fans can be absolutely brutal, and you just have to get on with it. I mean, obviously there are limits and things get done and fines get put out and what have you, but what football players have to put up with on the pitch and then on social media is crazy bad, and puts whistling and booing just like as something that the football players would perhaps wish for instead of what they get. So I mean, it's like, does he need to just get on with it and just, can you ignore that? Or you're a darts player, I'm not.
Yeah, like you said, it's a tough one to call, because like, you know, it's tough, especially when you're throwing your dart at the double and you got this whistling, or you're going for a 180. You got any little thing like that can put you off easily on your throw and your momentum, especially your rhythm as well. You know, but at the same time, like, you can go on about it for weeks and weeks and weeks, years and years and years. It's not going to change. You know, they've came out and said it's not going to change. They've started doing little things, you know, like you say, where the referees are, you know, doing what they used to do, where they used to stop play and they tell people, you know, like, you know, best of order. We're seeing that come into place a lot more. We're seeing players turn around and say, I'm not playing until that person's, you know, removed from the building. They are doing the right things, but there has to be a point where you just get on with it. You know, the players have been doing it for years, months now, you know, where they have just got on with it, a lot of the players. And it's only come about, it comes about more when it's two players that have had a clash before.
Yeah.
You know, and the fans seem to favour like the one that's, I didn't like the way you reacted, you know, and it's, yeah, you know, and you've got to get them back on side. Look what they did to Gavin Price for a long time. You know, it took him a long time before the crowd finally got back on his side. Now he throws, you know, with care. You know, he's no care net there now because the fans don't really do anything against him now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess my point is, should you be in the practice room with an audio of people whistling and just learn to get through it and push through it? I mean, it sounds a bit silly, but you know, there's always going to be if you got 5,000 people in a arena, there's always going to be one or two that are going to be complete idiots, and you're never going to stop that.
Yeah.
Like so, you know,
like you say, that there's nothing stopping a player like they used to. There's nothing stopping a player going in the VIP area down with the crowd. You know, they can't be approached. They're in the VIP area. They're out of the way. There's nothing wrong with a player if he's not playing till the afternoon session, going during the day and sitting in the crowd and watching the games. I'm pretty sure they have the option to do that if they wanted to do that. You know, I think we've seen it. Nathan Aspinall's done it before. A few others have. You know, would that help? You don't know. We don't do it. You know, you can't say yes or you can't say no. But the crowd may start, if they start seeing the players more, maybe give them that little bit more respect that they deserve. Oh, you are one of us, and you don't just hide in the back upstairs and then come out for your game and then disappear again.
Yeah, it could be. I know that some players will probably get hounded if they did that. Yeah. But I do see what you mean. But your academy lads, is it something that perhaps you can that people like yourself around the country can teach the children or the youth to get over this sort of hurdle, so it doesn't bug them when they become professional? Or is that a silly thing to talk about?
I mean, it's not really. I mean, I don't remember Littler. I don't know if he did or not. I don't remember off the top of my head if he played county level darts, where you're playing on the stage, where you've got a room of 40, 50, sometimes 200 people in the room, and they're shouting and bawling. They're all had a drink and blah. They're a rowdy bunch. That will get used to anything. Whether he experienced any of that, a lot of the pros have. So whether because he's hit the scene so young, that's why he's struggling a bit with it, and he's struggling to get his head around it, because it only seems to be him that's fixated on it at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not just aimed at him; they are doing it to a number of other players as well. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's the inexperienced side of him coming out. We know he's young. We know he's inexperienced when it comes to that. Certain things in his game. He's incredible. He's the best player in the world for a reason, but he's still maturing.
You're absolutely right. I mean, the guys. A couple of years ago, he was playing on the floor in youth championships and stuff with nobody about, and so it is to go from that to be playing in front of maybe 15,000 people at one of the O2 or whatever. I don't know how many it holds, but to go from nothing to that is quite a leap, I think, for any.
Yeah. I mean, I do remember a video that went quite viral when he was younger, and I think it was one of the not many finals that he actually lost, and he was quite vocal then towards the crowd and stuff. Like it's as if he was picking, "Oh, you were making noise behind me." Whether that could be a thing, whether people have seen this video. Possibly. And they know he's got a bit of a weak link when it comes to the noise behind him, and that's why people are whistling and booing him more. It's not him as a person that they're aiming at; they're just trying to put him off his game.
Yeah.
People want to see him lose. That's the problem now.
Yeah, that is a problem, isn't it? You have a player that's come through from nothing to being world champion twice, and so he's come from nothing and he's won everything, almost everything. He's still young, and we forget that sometimes, don't we? I think. But yeah, let's leave that there. What we're going to do now is we're going to introduce Keith, and we will talk about the US Masters. So over to you, Keith. Hello, are you there?
Hi, Phil and Darren. Thanks for having me on the show again.
Well, you're welcome. It's nice to see you again. How are you feeling? All right?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you very much. How are you, gentlemen?
We're hot, I think. Hot.
Yes, very hot here in California too.
Yes, I've seen on the. I've been watching the football. It's hot everywhere, isn't it?
Yes,
right.
sir.
So it's US Darts Masters weekend.
Yes, sir.
And we've had, and I said this at the beginning of the show, we've had the first round results. The second round, or the quarterfinals, are tonight, aren't they? I believe.
Yes, sir.
And we've had, we'll run through the results. And if you want to pick out any, Keith, as I run through them, stop me and talk about any of the players, because we're not overly aware of all of the players. We need to get to know them. So Jan van Veen, he beat a horror movie star in Freddy Krueger 6-1.
Yes.
Imagine being born. Imagine having a surname Krueger. I was calling you Fred.
I think it would make a wonderful avatar.
Yeah,
I think it would be. Yeah, I think it would be great.
Gerwin Price beat is it Braden Hall? James Wade beat
Brendan. Yes.
Brendan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brendan Hall. My mistake. I do apologise,
No
Brendan.
worries. Yes.
James Wade 6, Adam Savada 3. We've all heard of Adam Savada. And here's a big shock, I think. Josh Rock 4, Jim Long 6, currently 81st in the world. I've not heard his name before. Do you know much about Jim at all, Keith?
I know a little bit about Jim. He's a fantastically balanced player. He is a PDC card holder, so he does compete on the other level. In North America, he is one of the tops, and he easily pulls his weight. He's consistent. He's not flashy. He doesn't put people through the ropes, but he holds them to them, definitely.
Right. Yeah. So his reward for
Yes.
getting through is a quarter final with some bloke called Luke Littler.
Scary proposition.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you reckon about that one, Darren?
I mean, yeah, it's not really a reward, is it? the poor guy's done so well to get to the quarterfinal, and he has to play Littler now. Like,
it's a chance of a scalp. He's taken Josh Rock out, so
yeah, and I mean, Littler wasn't amazing, was he?
No, not at all. What chance do you give him, Keith?
Well, I think to the point that Darren's making is if Luke has a little bit of an off day, that it wouldn't be very hard for Long to participate, play well, and take the scalp.
Interesting. I look forward to seeing that one. Luke Littler, speak of the devil. 6, David Cameron, not the former Prime Minister. 4.
Yes.
Before. What do you know about David Cameron?
To be honest, I don't know a lot about Cameron yet. I haven't been able to catch up with him. Unfortunately, in America, we do not get to turn on the telly and flip on darts. We have to do a bit of digging to get all of our player information and background. And unfortunately, with so many players, I can't cover them all.
No, of course you can't. Of course you can't. One player we do know, and I'm sure you know about a lot about too, Luke Humphrey 6, Leonard Gates 1. We all loved Leonard in his World Championship. So you know, it's a tough ask for a first round, that isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a high step to take for your first one.
Yeah, it is. It is. What type of player is Leonard? Do you know much about him?
I think he's a great player. I think what Leonard brings to the game the most is that fun attitude. I think he's the type of player that brings new players to the game. And that's something that we definitely need. His game is strong, well-rounded. He can close matches. He's pretty focused. I think a little bit of his personality does leak into his game now and again. But when he's on fire, he's pretty hard to stop.
Yeah, we saw that in the World Championships. He's a good player. Johnny played 6, Gary Mawson 2. I don't know anything about Gary. Sorry, Gary. I don't know whether.
Sorry, Gary.
Yeah. What are you down? Have you heard of
No, I'm the same there. I'm not really recognize that name, to be honest. I mean, obviously, I watched a bit of the game. He seems a good thrower, but Clayton was just he was hot. He was on fire. He just didn't get in. He didn't settle. That's what I want to say. I don't feel like he settled very well. Whether this such a big occasion for him, I don't know. He just seemed to struggle a little bit.
Yes, I don't know much about him, but I think maybe that the stage could have given him some struggles. The competition, the competitor that he had may have given him some struggles and just put him off, and maybe that he never caught up in his game in order to compete well.
And then Stephen Bunting 6, Alex Spellman 2. And again, I have to apologise. I don't know. I haven't heard his name before.
Spellman is a great player. He's doing wonderful things for the game. He is having some personal struggles. I tried to dig a little bit, but I didn't want to get into much. It's something for him to tell, obviously. But that when he says it's enough for me to be up there competing and playing well, that's a victory for him. And I agree. I think that's wonderful for him. If he's having struggles and he's still out there competing, I think that's a great place to be. And I encourage him to continue, tackle those things that are small in your life and get back to the big things that mean the most to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. Very good point. Of course, you've done that yourself, haven't you, Keith? You've had to overcome struggles and you've, basically you've fallen back on darts, haven't you? It's like the thing to get you through everything, which is good. It's great.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Absolutely.
Quarterfinal draw. I don't know whether you've seen it, but we've spoken about it already. Luke Littler versus Jim Long. I see what I'll do, Keith and Darren. If I give you a scale of 1 to 10, how much chance do you give Jim Long against Luke Littler? 1 to 10. 10 being yes, he'll batter Luke Littler and he'll go through to the semi-finals. Number 1 is not a hope in hell. What do you reckon, Keith?
I would like to say that I'd give him a solid 7 and 8, because if Luke does have that poor game, that he could easily capitalize, because he's a very steady player. He can execute. Okay,
Darren, what do you reckon? 1 to 10.
I'm more of. I was thinking more along the fence. I was going to go 4-5. Like you say, we know more obviously over here about Littler. We know he's incredible. But like we said, I don't feel like he was on his best form last night or yesterday, should we say? So if he brings that game into today as well, and he struggled again, like you say. If this guy's as steady as he is and he just keeps chipping away and he's hitting the doubles as soon as he gets a chance, you just never know.
And I do think that's the most key thing, is if he can close his games, and if Luke is having an off time, that's what brings me to that higher number that I think he could accomplish it. Plus, I like to back my boys.
Yeah. Why not? Why not, indeed?
Yes, but, why not?
There's no reason. He's proven he can play. Josh Rock is no slouch. We know he's one of the best players in the world. He's a Premier League player this season. Absolutely. So, it's a great scout for Jim, and 81 in the world, having a nice run in this tournament might throw him up a fair few places.
Yes.
Were there any names that you were surprised weren't on the roster for the US Darts Masters from the North American side?
As Bunce just rode with Savetta to Germany, I thought it was a little bit of a surprise not to see Bunce on the card. Also, I think it would have been neat to have a Bunce and Bunting match.
Just for the commentators.
Just for the fun. For the fun.
Right. The other quarterfinals, I've just asked for your predictions. Gerwyn Price versus James Wade. Keith, what do you reckon?
I mean, I've really liked how Gerwyn's been playing. Price has been steady. So my card would lie with him, I believe, in that match.
Okay, Darren, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I agree. I think Price 6-4 victory there.
That sounds like a good number.
It does, doesn't it? Luke Humphries versus Stephen Bunting. Keith.
Oh, as much as I love Stephen Bunting, and he is the player's player, Luke, if he's on his game, is pretty unbeatable. And not to say that Stephen Bunting hasn't had his great performances, but he'll need one if he wants to compete in that level.
Yeah, absolutely. Darren, what do you reckon?
Again, he's pretty much hit the nail on the head. I mean, Humphries is firing. The form that he showed again yesterday, you can't not go with Humphries, really. Let's be honest. Like you say, I know I've known Bunting for years and years since we were kids and stuff. So I'd always back Bunting, but in this case, you've got to be realistic. So I think Humphries. I'd like to see a close game.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'd definitely. I'm sorry. I'd definitely like to see Bunting take a few legs if he doesn't take the match for sure. He should be competitive anyways.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's time-wise, I think is it on at 1:45 in the morning UK time, I believe. So if our viewers want to watch it, well, by the time this comes out, it'll be over. So, last game in the quarterfinals, Jean Van Veen versus Clayton. Who are we backing in that one, Keith?
Oh, I do like Van Veen quite a bit, but I do think that Clayton has had his streak running and that he's not backing off the pedal at all. He's keeping the gas down, and it is steady. He's not fluctuating a lot. He's playing strong and steady. He's not having a lot of thrown matches where he's way off and that he's lost those legs and that he's closed the legs that he's needed to in order to continue to progress. And I think in that way, I have Clayton on that match.
Okay, and Darren, what do you think?
I'm actually going to go the other way this one. Only because Clayton, obviously the last tournament, the Slovak, wasn't it? He struggled. He seems to be okay. Like I say yesterday, he's played well. But I just fancy Van Veen a bit more.
Okay, and
Van Veen.
Sorry.
Van Veen.
No, Van Veen is very consistent in that way. I do agree also that Clayton can be a little eruptive, but if he stays steady on the pedal, I do think that he could have the advantage in the overall match.
Okay, and we'll go for a winner, but just so people know, the semi-finals are Little or Long versus Price or Wade, and then Humphries or Bunting versus Van Veen or Clayton. So let's pick a winner. We'll start with you this time, Darren. Who's going to win the US Masters?
Overall winner?
Yeah.
I am going to go based on form and based on how everyone's played the first few rounds. Well, first round. I'm going to go Humphries.
Okay, and Keith?
I'm sorry that yeah, I mean Humphries is so steady, he's hard to deny, I think, in that way. So yeah, I think I would have to agree with Darren on this one for sure. I think he could carry it. I think he could carry it without making the mistakes.
Okay. Here's a dream. Jim Long winning. What are the odds on that, I wonder?
We shouldn't laugh. But
he's got a chance. At the end of the day, it's two professional darts players. Whether there's a big gap or not in their rankings, it's how they play on the day, and anybody can actually beat anybody. It's. I mean, I do feel there's a different pressure when you're playing either one of the loops. There's a whole different pressure.
Yeah.
So, but they are beatable. They're not superheroes. They are beatable.
I do think he's going to be long odds though.
Yeah.
Yes, I think he will have quite long odds, but I do believe that he does have the chances if the stars align for him.
Yes,
we can hope.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. It would be interesting. So, Keith,
yes,
when you were last on, we asked you. We talked about the not the state, but what professional darts was like in America, how it's moving on. Is it improving? So from the last time we spoke, has anything seemed to improved in the background? Anything that's coming through, or any young players that we need to watch out for?
Well, I definitely think that now with all the new players, we are starting to get that feel for the growth of the sport, that there needs to be a studied body that helps bring up these young players, academies, Q schools, and what have you. And we are seeing a little bit of movement in that overall. I think a lot of that comes down to the entrepreneurs, for us to try and get out there and create that. And that in itself can be quite daunting as far as the older players bringing in the new players, the liveliness that we have with the Gates, the Luke Littler effect. We're bringing the new players to the game. The biggest thing I think in American professional darting would be that with soft tip and the different games out there, that we're not focused on the exact same things that the PDC is looking for. And in that way, maybe that we're limiting ourselves in reaching that higher level, and that could be addressed, as well as bringing in these newer players, giving them a stronger foundation and bringing them up towards professional playing, not just playing at the pub.
Yeah. I Darren, you're obviously an academy. You run an academy, and Keith makes a good point there, because the one thing we have in Britain, our academy is literally everywhere now.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that replicated in North America, because it's been a while, hasn't it, since we've had a North American that's really done something special in the sport. And it's about time that changed. Isn't it, Keith? About time that changed.
Yes, I think we definitely need a standout, stellar player of our own in North America, someone that our own players and new players and people finding the sport could get behind. While it's, in some ways, I kind of relate it to the NFL, where the NFL now has games in London, Germany, and Australia every year, but the home for the NFL is in America. In some ways, the PDC is that way in England, and that everybody else is trying to get there.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You probably agree with that too, don't you, Darren? That there is a European bias when it comes to the PDC. Although we do travel the world, there is a bias.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I know we've touched on the WDF before, haven't we? And that's due to go out in Las Vegas, isn't it? Very, very soon.
Next month.
Yeah, so I can only imagine that's going to help things, because that will generate a different route again for the American players. They've had that option of going down the WDF route, you know, and that a lot of PDC players went through the WDF before going to get their tour card.
Yeah.
So there is that option. Hopefully that helps generate, a future talent that can take the world by storm.
Yeah, you would have thought so, wouldn't you? You definitely would have thought. We had a different guest on who spoke quite passionately about the WDF and about North America, and saying that several darts players had told him they can't afford to go, and felt that there should have been a longer lead time, so maybe do it in a few years. But it's a show. It's in America. There's the American women. There are certainly, I would say, more stronger North American women in the WDF than there are men in the PDC at the moment. Is that fair, Keith?
Yes, I think that the American players has a great diversity. Their women's division is quite strong. I do think that some of that comes from the diversity of the American mindset of playing more than just 501 and playing soft tip, in that they have developed that diversity and they have put it to use. Whereas it could be a detriment to other players, they have found a use for it, and that they're executing on a high level.
Okay, cool. Now I'm going to sound dumb here. I don't mind. It's, I'm a host, so I can ask these questions. What's soft tip, Keith?
Oh, lordy. Soft tip is a sister to the steel tip system. It's they have plastic tips on. The board is at different millimeters and the sizes of the doubles, triples, the bullseye. The scoring and the playing essentially is the same, but the weight of the darts is different. The Aki's at a different distance. When When I was raised up, my dad told me that the soft tip machines were in the arcade for a reason, and that our boards would never have a quarter slot on it. So in some ways, there's a lot of bias in America against soft tip or against steel tip and vice versa. And then there's other players that play both all the time because that's the way they make their living and they have to.
Yeah. No, I like that. Right, we have to leave it there, I'm afraid, guys. But I really appreciate you coming on, Keith. I know I don't know what time it is there, but I know you patiently waited to come on. And of course, Darren, thank you very much again for coming on. It's been good to talk to you. By the time this goes out, Jim Long will be holding a trophy high up in the air.
Fingers crossed.
I'm going to go and put 5 on.
I'll cross my toes too.
Or is he getting battered because I've done a contest?
Oh no.
One of the two. He's either going to win or lose. But anyway, so take care. Thank you very much for watching and listening, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Take care. Goodbye.
I've been a bully, a treble 20.